Hey, this is Steve Bloom, and you are listening to the Geekcast Radio Network.
Alter, get geeky, it's a wild ride. Join the discussion, let's dive into lore. From Star Trek to Transformers, we're ready to soar. Superheroes clash as we spark up the flame. Alter Geek Podcast, remember the name.
Hello and welcome to Altered Geek. I'm your host, Steve Megatron Phillips, and joining me on this adventure into geekdom is TFG1Mike.
Please don't block me anymore. More on that later.
Yeah, don't block him anymore. We'll discuss that after this. But if you're listening to this episode, I'm actually not in my home studio. I am actually on a work trip, and this is after hours, and I am sitting in the hotel room with my instead of my Blue Yeti, which is normally hooked up to my desk, I have a portable Mackie EM USB-C microphone, and I won this during COVID, so this is kind of my go-to like on the road microphone. I mean, sure, I could have used my phone, but
this is better.
This is better. This is definitely better.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this episode and you're like, why is Steve sounding weird? That's why. So yeah.
And for the record, you don't sound that weird. It's just a little bit off.
They sent me to the moon.
Yeah.
It's probably also because this room is big and echoey, so it's going to sound a little bit different. And the ambience is not the same.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And then the air conditioner, the air conditioner unit, I can change the temperature. It never turns off. It does not. I tried to turn it off last night. I was like, okay, it's way too cold in here. And then so I tried to like turn the temperature up so that it would be, warmer before it kicks on. And it was like, nope, not gonna do it. And it just like it just kept circulating the air. And I was going, it was infuriating. I was like, I'm freezing. More on that later, because like I literally, like, during the convention, like, everything's been great information, great company that been listening to a lot of panelists and met a lot of people in the company and then other companies, and we're kind of looking into certain software for work. And the convention hall was so cold today. I was sitting there for the first 3.5 hour, like, because there were multiple sessions jammed in there. They had some lightning round sessions that were like under 10 minutes, and they had some that were like 40.
Oh, geez.
So they had like little micro breaks in there. And then before lunch, I was like going, I need a sweater. I need a sweater. I need a sweater. And so in between, because the building that that all of the panels are in are the same room as my hotel, or same building. Yeah. And so I was able to just go down the hall and like shoot into my hotel room. And luckily I brought a sweater for just the right occasion. So after lunch, I was able to go down there and have it on. And I was like, I am comfortable for the rest of this. But
there you go.
Could have used shorts because it's like 90 some degrees outside.
Yeah.
I did not pack that. But the bonus is it mattered where it counted, where I needed to be warm.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So it just doesn't matter. I was like, it's less load. I was able to, carry on with my microphone and like all of the other things I needed to bring with me. But yeah. So let's get into your Twitter scenario.
Well, before we do that, it's literally the middle of April, folks, April 15th. Mother Nature is having a conniption fit. She doesn't know if it's spring, winter, summer. We're not to fall yet, but between spring, winter, and summer, she doesn't know what in the hell she's doing. As far as Twitter goes, as far as X goes, okay, so I was resigned to the fact that I lost 18 and a half years. And mind you, I don't like go back. Like, I joined Twitter July 27th, 2008. The only reason why I know the exact date is because somebody else got the hack message. the hack direct message because somebody else sent me actually it was somebody on Discord did you send me this? I'm like, no, don't, stop, block the account. It's fine. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I don't have control over the account right now. I got hacked. But when they sent that screenshot to me, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because you never actually know. Like, I pretty sure what we see as account holders is different than what the public sees on certain things on accounts.
Yeah.
As far as I know. And I did not and do not remember the initial date, the actual day. I remember the month because every July Twitter used to send me, oh, hey, happy X year anniversary or whatever. And I'm not saying that because it's now called X. I'm saying because insert whatever year number it was on Twitter, you would get your whatever year that was. Hey, happy anniversary message from Twitter at the time when it was called Twitter. So somebody sent me that. Oh, did you send me this? I said, don't click on that. It's a thing. Don't. You're going to just ignore it, block it, whatever. So, but because that person sent me that screenshot, I was like, oh, interesting. July 27th, 2008. I knew it was July of 2008, but anyway. So initially when I got hacked, after I accidentally clicked a link from a DM who I thought was a friend that sent it to me in the middle of when I was half asleep one night, when I was still sick, which I'm still getting over the sickness. I'm still sick. This seasonal, whatever the hell this is. No clue. It is what it is. But hacker did was they, she, it, they, whatever pronoun or negative noun. I like to call them negative nouns just to screw with people because I like to be different. But whatever thing they want to be called, all as they were doing was, I guess, getting my friends list or getting my followers list and sending that hack DM to other people. They didn't change anything. They didn't change my profile picture. They didn't change my location. They didn't tweet anything. They didn't do anything with my account for the longest time. And then they did. And you know what the first thing they did was? And this is really the only thing that really bugged me about losing my X account, was I no longer had my name. They held my name hostage. That was the only real, oh my God, that was my real emotional breakdown, was I no longer had at TFG1Mike on anything. It doesn't matter what platform it is, a version of it or whatever. Like, that was my real sticking point. And then moron decided to become a fake Elon impersonator, and they changed the Twitter the X handle. So guess what I could do? I could go back on and check and see if my name was still available. Well, it was, and I'm back. Now, I don't have that same account anymore. I don't have that same following. And let me tell you, folks, going from an account where I was following, I was following just over 1,200 accounts. I had amassed in 18 and a half years, just over 1,200 people following me. Going from following over 1,200 accounts to following just right now, I'm following 100 accounts and I've got 7 people following. And really, at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't care. If people want to follow me, great. If they don't, fine, whatever. I never really... Twitter to me is like that old Current or whatever it was, that Craig and Dave or Dave and Craig video. I'm twittering now, I'm doing this now, I'm at work now. Like, you know, you tweet every little thing that you do, because that in 2008, that's what Twitter was. Is tweeting every little thing that you did out into the world. And if somebody was, you know, hey, I like this movie, hey, I like that movie, it was doing like-minded things. And if I like this Transformer, I can't stand that Transformer. The Unicron trilogy sucks. Beast Wars is amazing. You know, you find all kinds of friends when you make these crazy opinions on the platform. But the experience of going from having a following of over 12 of me following over 1,200 accounts to only following 100 accounts is shocking. Like, my timeline is crazy. But what I will say about Twitter, it's X itself now, you can customize the For You tab. And if I take out like politics, the Iran conflict, the business and finance, the artificial intelligence, and the crypto, and I hit apply, that will customize it for me, and that will give it to me as long as I stay on that tab. But if I click back over to following and I refresh following and then close the application, I guarantee you when I go back in here, yep, it resets to For You, and I have to then redo the customization all over again. So it does not keep the customization. You have to do it every friggin' time. So I don't know. I wish I could have gotten my original account back. I tried so many times to send in emails, to do this, to do that, and
they don't pay any attention whatsoever.
Their thing was, oh, we can't find the original email you signed up with. Well, probably why you couldn't find it was because the hacker changed the email login. Like, email I got, the 2 emails I got was, your email has been changed to at email address. And literally that's what it said. It was like at Gmail. And I'm like, what email address is that? And then it was like, oh, a pass key for an iOS device has been created. I haven't had an iOS device since 2010. I have not been on the rotten fruit Apple bandwagon since 2010. And look, I like iPhones and that kind of stuff. They're kind of cool. They're kind of okay, but I don't know. I switched over to Android at one point or another. I ended up with a Samsung, and now I'm on the Google's train and whatever. And I just like these phones better because I don't know. I don't know. It is what it is. And once I realized that it was an Apple user that hacked me, I was like, oh, okay. No wonder Twitter, X, whatever, can't find my original, which how they can't, like, if you change the email address, I can't believe they don't have a record of the times you've changed your address. That's crazy. And honestly, X needs some sort of support, some sort of other support other than email. Like, every website, to my knowledge, or most every website now has a chat bot that can pop up. Like, if you have a question or whatever for customer support, like most websites, or I don't know what the percentage is on it or whatever. But anyway, I got the name back. A few people are like, oh, don't sign back up again. Don't do this. The time, look, for me, the time that I'm on Twitter in the last 18 and a half years versus the time I was off it for like the 4, 5, 6 days I was off of it in the last week and a half or so. I'm not on there all the time, I'm on there maybe 5 times a day, and the 5 times a day I'm on there, I'm either engaging in conversation with friends or I'm promoting podcasts. I'm mainly on there to promote stuff for the network, for the podcast that we do, for the writing that I do, for photos that I take, whatever. Or I'm engaging in like we've been engaging in conversations about physical media, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But like, I'm not on there to get into fights with people about politics or stupid crap or drama or whatever. I never was. It's not what it's there for me. Like, and the fact that Mr. Cologne owns it now or has owned it, I don't. Do I wish he would implement better things in the platform? Yes, absolutely. I wish he would do a better job.
Well, it's mostly run by bots at this point. Like,
I
there's
understand
bots
that.
all over the place, and then there's the automations suck. I mean, they sucked before. There was no human auditing for anything.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but anyways, the guy, he did finally remove your links, and
Oh, did he?
yeah. Well, no, it's still there.
Oh, it's still there. Yeah.
I had him blocked. That's why it showed up. But he's not been posting very often. Like, he posted through April 5th and then posted again 12 hours ago. But as of this recording, I'm having fun reporting it constantly. Because if you type in TFG1Mike still in the search bar, that still comes up.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
The new account doesn't come up?
No, they both do.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if it might not come up now because I blocked it. But yeah, his account was coming up because it had yours. I'm just glad you can get it back. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, we got a lot of content to talk about.
Yeah, we got lots of stuff.
Yep. So let's start off with YouTube's premium US pricing going up.
So I wanted to find a better resource, a better breakdown, and that comes to us from 9to5 Google. I just needed something better than the original link that I found, and basically from the lovely people over at 9to5 Google. Google is implementing a price hike for YouTube premium plans in the US, with prices going up by as much as $4 per month. Live now for new subscribers, YouTube premium pricing in the US is as follows. Individual plans $15.99 a month, up from $13.99. Family plans $26.99 a month, up from $22.99 a month. Lite is going to be $8.99 a month, up from $7.99, and the music premium $11.99, up from $10.99. YouTube Premium has not raised prices in a few years now, with the family plan jumping from $17.99 to $22.99 back in 2022, and individual plans later following in 2023 from $11.99 to $13.99 at the time. YouTube Premium Lite has only been available for about a year, with background play and offline downloads added to the low-cost subscription earlier this year. Everything is going up. Everything is good. Streaming is cable. It just is. It's the new version of cable. We still have cable. We still have cable packages. But if you look at streaming, whether it's YouTube Premium, whether it's Disney Plus, whether it's Netflix, whether it's whatever, HBO Max, streaming is cable. It just is now.
It's just crappy cable.
Well, I mean,
it is. Let's not sugarcoat it.
Here's
Garbaggio.
Well, here's the thing. I've always said that for me to enjoy streaming plans, and we talk about a la carte. We talk about that a lot around here. or me personally to enjoy streaming plans, as long as I can afford it, as long as I budget correctly and I afford it and whatever. I love the option as long as I'm given the option, as long as I budget correctly. I love the option of annual billing. Annual billing sometimes ranges from 120 to 160 bucks a year. And I don't know what that is for whichever service it is. I think Disney Plus is like 180 bucks a year. But look at the content library Disney Plus has with Hulu, with everything else they have. 180 bucks a year is not bad for that one service. Now, I know that adds up with multiple services, like if you add YouTube Premium in, but I mean, even at $15.99 a month, you're still paying, let's see, that's $191.88 a year for YouTube Premium at the $15.99 a month thing. I think YouTube Premium is yearly something like $140. So you'd be saving $50 if you did it. And the only thing I don't like about the YouTube Premium annual plan is they specifically say it does not renew automatically annually. You have to go in and do it every year yourself. Now, I know that some of the other streaming services annual plans will automatically renew.
That's because there's a law against that stuff in certain areas.
Oh, true. Okay.
Because we had to be very careful with subscriptions too. There's a lot of regulation all over the place that kind of changes depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. And so I think that they may have just more or less hedged their bets. I think they're based out of California too, so I think that's probably why they don't have it checked automatically. Sure. But yeah, I'm kind of cord cutter deluxe at this point on multiple fronts. So
yeah, I haven't actively watched regular, like, over-the-air television in, I want to say next year will be 10 years. 2017 was the last time I watched actual ABC, NBC, Fox, like actual over-the-air television on my TV. Everything on my 55-inch flat screen 4K television that's mounted on my bedroom wall is streaming services. And for me, like I was mentioning earlier with budgeting and whatever else, for me, I will pay the price that YouTube wants for premium for the okay, well, YouTube Premium gets you ad free, because if you pay for YouTube Premium, it means you. So the $15.99 a month, I will pay for that because I know. I think and I'm gonna have to go digging for this, but I remember this specifically. If you watch enough of certain creators, whatever creator you watch, I think that's how they get whatever, if they're in the partner program. I don't remember how all that works. But the point is that the reason why YouTube has ads is so the creators can make money and yada, 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 whatever. I'm probably saying it wrong. I forget off the top of my head. Point is that for me, I will pay for ad-free television. I am 46 years old. I spent my entire childhood, my entire teenage years, and most of my 20s watching ads on TV. I've seen enough ads. I'm too old for that shit. I will as long as I, like I said, working into my budget, I will gladly pay for ad-free television because I just want the content that I want without having to sit through ads. I don't want to have to sit through ads. I don't want to have to hit a button to skip ad now. I don't want to have to do any of that. I just want to watch especially if it's a 30-year-old show. I shouldn't have to sit through an ad to watch an episode of Nash Bridges, or to watch an episode of Knight Rider, or to watch an episode of Star Trek, whatever, you know, kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah. See, I mean, the last time I watched like cable was in like, I mean, like as far as free cable, like free television, because I haven't had cable since probably 2010.
Yeah.
Because it came with a place I lived. Like I didn't outright search it out. And then I think I had it when I moved into my house briefly in like 2014 in Michigan. And like I had it briefly for like 6 months or something, or a year with AT&T. And then or maybe it was, I don't know. They all meshed together. I've only had it like twice. But I bought a digital antenna and hooked it up to my TV during the run of the Olympics. And so that was pretty much the last time I've watched actual TV outside of a like a platform of some kind, or discs, or I mean, I've watched stuff on YouTube, but I've kind of switched over to like Tubi, and I'm like, oh, I'll deal with the ads. I don't care. And I watch Netflix because I have it, and I've occasionally watched like Disney Plus. But like, I don't like YouTube's not one of those ones like I feel incentivized to pay for. Plus, like they're all climbing in cost to the point that they're all going to end up being more than cable anyway at some point. And then they're going to limit how much you can do with that before they go all in on ads, which is kind of crap, because it's like, all right, if I'm paying for all this crap, the least you can do is give me an 18 episode season. like just saying. Just saying.
You're getting your wishful thinking hat on there, buddy.
Yeah, well, I'm using logic, something that
yes, obviously,
something that even George Lucas is like, Hollywood doesn't have it.
No, they don't. Logic, what's that?
Yeah.
Going on,
but yeah, so I mean, we also have the other YouTube article.
Yes, that's what I was going to get to here really quickly. Tying into that one YouTube thing we just talked about, YouTube quietly reveals a trick to get fewer ads without premium plans. YouTube shows ads more aggressively than ever before, but the only official way to get rid of them entirely is by getting a premium subscription. And if you are in the US, buying a premium subscription now costs $15.99 a month for the individual plan after the recent price hike. However, you don't always need a premium subscription to watch videos without ads. While there are unofficial ways to go ad-free on YouTube that Google doesn't like, the Mountain View tech giant has recently revealed a trick to see fewer ads on YouTube without paying a monthly fee. Don't get too excited, because the trick only applies when certain conditions are met. Even if you are not a premium user, YouTube will now hold back ads when live chat engagement is at a peak during live streaming. YouTube has announced this in its official blog post, though it kept us in the dark about what actually counts as peak engagement via Dexardo. This is something that you, as an individual user, don't have much control over, because engagement spikes collectively, but you can certainly play your part by commenting on the live streams. So in an entire live streaming session, you may see fewer ads than before, depending on whether YouTube's system recognizes a spike in engagement. If you watch a lot of popular live streams on YouTube and are on the free tier, this will certainly impact your viewing experience, but for everyone else, buying a premium subscription is still the best way. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, that's a crapshoot. That's like going to Vegas and putting odds on the horse with the gimpy leg. Like, I'm not gonna take that gamble. I'm going to pay for a premium subscription. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I just use Brave browser.
Yep.
And I never see the ads anyway. So
yep.
If you
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean that's kind of how I avoid it. Plus I don't see them on my TV anymore either. So that's where I'm gonna leave that.
Yep. Yeah. All righty then. We head over to those pyrites at Hasbro. Speaking of TV, Hasbro Entertainment and Get After It Media. Launch Hasbro Legends channel to over 70 million homes across the U.S. Oh boy, that's going to be a lost hub here soon now, isn't it, folks?
It's the Hub 2.0.
It's the Hub.
Only
2.0.
difference is they didn't steal a name of something I created. I had a website called the Hub.
Yeah. So April 13th, 2026, Burbank, California. Hasbro Entertainment, Hasbro's content arm, leveraging its it's iconic. Whoops, I can't read right. Iconic brands and across film, television, animation, and digital, along with Get After It Media game. That's a horrible acronym. Horrible acronym.
Yeah, they're announcing a deal to launch Hasbro Legends, a new linear channel, kind of housing everything. So their goal is to reach 70 million homes across the U.S. and more distribution. They're also planning on, having more of their portfolio of legendary franchises that have shaped generations. Mostly like Hasbro's beloved characters and things. So they're, fanning out about it. They're thrilled to partner with them, and they talk about Power Rangers and G.I. Joe and all of the other things. It's essentially like they're gonna have G.I. Joe, they're gonna have Gem and the Holograms, My Little Pony, Power Rangers, Transformers, and then
that Hasbro owns.
Distribution and monetization across both the over-the-air and free ad-supported streaming television environment. So they're gonna kind of have their own ecosystem to track it and go through that. But it's been a while since they've had their own kind of dedicated channel. Although I feel like Hasbro already dumped their load on YouTube anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, why? Like, this is like.
I feel like this is a syndication play.
Yeah, it is. And may the man rest in peace. Goldner. May Goldner rest in peace. But he tried this with the Hub.
Well, I think it fizzled out because Discovery was part of the problem. They got none of the profits for Hasbro. I think what's happening now is because Numbnuts, that's running it right now, he's figuring out that gaming isn't necessarily the direction and crappy quality toys aren't the direction. So what do we do here? So I think he's like outsourcing certain things, and I think he's backpedaling to retrace his predecessor steps to make things right.
Gotcha. So they're so looking at it that way, I wasn't thinking of it that way. I was thinking of it in the way of TV stuff failed the first time. Why are we trying again if it but I see what you're so so this isn't so because this is Gaim and can we please talk about these fucking acronyms? I'm sorry to use it, but oh my god, Jesus, like they're
So CTV and OTA are actual acronyms of the television industry.
They are.
Fast is something slightly different, although it doesn't matter. Like if you go to different organizations, like you go to different television studios or radio stations, depending on whatever platform that they own the rights to or don't own the rights to, they'll have their own weird acronyms too. They're, as far as the company that they're partnering with, Get After It Media, I feel like it's a stupid acronym. Like it's like they're saying like game, and or G aim, like AOL Instant Messenger. Like I feel like
it's supposed to be game, but I look at it as game. I look at it as different.
I think it's game, but it's still weird anyway. Like I like acronyms that like OTA or CTV or GCRN or CEO. Things that kind of just flow.
Yeah.
It's strange if you spell it out. But anyways, I feel like this is a brand play that's going to be beneficial to Hasbro and reintroducing people to what actually works, and will allow for because it sounds like they're letting Get After It Media handle as far as delivering it and having helping them with the advertising and everything else, and the distribution and the growth and everything. But I feel like in this situation, in this play, Hasbro will likely profit off of it. So I could see them also taking down selected episodes from YouTube or putting them behind a paywall, or having Get After It Media put, special advertising on these episodes going forward, or there's a lot of different directions they could go with this, but they do have an extensive library, and it would be stupid not to monetize what they have, especially when those are the programs that made them.
Absolutely. I see this as a good, now that you've everyone else is saying, oh, this is gonna, and I thought this was gonna be bad because I thought, oh no, they're gonna do but now that you're okay, I'm on board. Let's see what
Tubi's got some of this stuff too, so it's like, I feel like this whole thing is an ad play.
It probably is, most likely.
Got to recoup the money from all those, buckets and buckets of, War for Cybertron, Earthspark, and Transformers 1 toys that didn't go anywhere, that they overproduced and underproduced of the Optimus Primes and Megatrons that that never showed up in store.
Yeah, very, very true. Very true.
I still have not seen them. I've looked. Like I got lucky once when the Mattel Hasbro crossover of the Hot Wheels Optimus Prime came out. My son found one.
I remember that. I remember that.
I got so emotional over it, which is stupid because it's like a toy. I got so emotional because he found this one at this one store that's local to us. And him and my oldest, they bought it. It was like a $3 Hot Wheel because of where it was bought. It wasn't, but still, it was the fact that they found it, and there's like literally like a 8-foot stretch of Hot Wheel cars that on an entire rack, and it's literally like 4 foot tall. So they had to have dug through part of it to find it. And I've looked like for the last year to try and find more, because I'm like, okay, if I find more, I'm going to give them to the kids. Because like it would be awesome, and I know they had an Ultra Magnus. I know they had they were like 8 variations of Prime. There were like 3 variations of Bumblebee or something. And I know this is not all things Transformers, but it's still interesting.
No, it's no, absolutely.
But I'm like, if I found them, I would do the right thing and get them each one too.
Oh yeah.
And and if I found 3 of them, I would open one, and then I would give them the other 2. So that I have the original that they bought me on the shelf, but no, like you can't even find those. Like, so it's like, where the heck are all these things going? It's like they're underproducing anything with Prime on it, unless it's, the Transformers Devastation figure that nobody wanted, or the Transformers 1 figures that nobody bought. Like they had to clearance them out like for 80% off, just get them to go away. So
I liked that movie, but I didn't want any of those. I did not give two craps about any of those toys.
I'm at the point now that it's like I don't even care to own any of the Transformers unless they're Beast Wars related. And even then, like we were at a Burlington the other day. It was on like last Sunday. We went to Burlington Coat Factory, trying to get clothes for the kids. And Ian finds one of the Legacy Evolution Silverbolt, and it was like $12. And I was like, he's like, do you want it? And I'm like, I'm like, kind of. I'm like, but I don't. At the same time, I was like, I don't really need anymore. Like, I don't have that itch to like keep picking up these figures like anymore. Cause like, I mean, yeah, he's cool, but I'm like, I already have what I want. Like, I don't at this point, like, I'm trying to like very minimally pick up certain specific, like the Captain Kirk figure that's coming later this year. Like there's like, I'm hyper targeting now. It's like, I don't have the space. It's like, what do I actually want?
Yep.
So yeah, I know I've gone like on a whole different tangent from the Hasbro thing, but yeah,
it's cool. Well, I mean, it makes sense because, with them, beyond honored and thrilled to team up with Hasbro, and the fact that president and COO of Game, that they're beyond honored and grew up with G.I. Joe and Power Rangers, and now they get to bring these legendary brands to broadcast television at scale. What the that mean?
It's an ad play.
Yeah. All right. Talk about your other great love, Mr. Telltale, like Star Trek Game Poison.
Yeah, so this game hurts a little bit just saying it, but well, they did license it. The ex Telltale people did license this, to be able to make this Star Trek game, and it came out on Steam and on Epic Games. Now, mind you, the code that they gave me for review to play this was on Epic Games. So I have it on Epic Games. I don't have it on Steam. So it's been delisted from Steam, but still available on Epic Games. Now, they're supposed to keep it, like if you bought it, you'll still have access. So I got to play like the first chunk of the game with their code. And what I saw, I was impressed with. They had a sound alike for Leonard Nimoy's Spock. Very well done. Like they had, Jonathan Frakes as Riker back in this, and they had a bunch of new characters that kind of were in it. And the focus was good. Like some of the gameplay was a little bit clunky, like when using the tricorder or, positioning the ship or stuff, because it was a typical Telltale style game, which I'm not uber fond of the style, but the story was beautiful. And so for that alone, I was like, okay, like this feels like an episode of Star Trek, like classic Star Trek, none of this, newer Kurtzman era crap. And so I played that level, and I was like, okay, this is great. And I think they gave me like more of the game or something, and I was able to play it and do a full review. And I did a review, and then I was so impressed by it that I was like, okay, I have to support these guys. Like, I will buy this game. Like, I never did complete the game, mind you. I got pretty close to the end, and then I hit this wall where I was like, I'm too stupid to get past this part. Well, I feel like it was like Batman, where I could just like climb up something and like, take them down that way. But you have to sneak around a room, and they're constantly like scoping it out. And I'm never good at those rooms. It's not like Batman where you can hide in the walls or in the, wherever on the rafters and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I'm playing this game, and I just was like, this is probably where I'm going to call it. Like I never did finish it. So I watched the rest on YouTube, and I was like, the story mode was beautiful. It tied up a loose end from season 1 of Star Trek: The Next Generation, with Riker and this alien race that basically went extinct. But they were back in this game, which is how it all kind of spiraled. But they pulled on a thread, and it worked. Anyways, so it's getting pulled from sale forever at this point, because the 3-year the 3-year license is now done. and it takes place before like Spock disappeared and everything else. It's been, despite delisted and taken from sale, it's still on Epic. And if you bought it, you're still supposedly having access to it. Like existing customers can continue to access the game via their library. And then it includes a thanks to everyone who was able to enjoy the game, live long and prosper, kind of being the last hurrah of it. But yeah, I mean, I know that it was on the Epic Games Store in 2023, and then it was Steam in 2024, and had an 89% positive review, between 50,000 and 100,000 sales, even despite being a year old on Steam. It was a great game, but yeah, they still, I guess they're still selling it on Epic for $25. But Steam, it's completely been taken off unless you already previously purchased it. But yeah, so I think if you want to get the game, like, go ahead and get it. It's a great episode. As far as Star Trek's concerned, it is fun, and it does play into the lore, and it's very entertaining, and leaves a lot that it's kind of a true iteration that just feels fun. But it is very much like an episode, like a message in a bottle type thing of like the old Star Trek. Like, there is a beginning, middle, and an end. It's not like Star Trek Online where you can kind of continue playing forever, with different episodes and an ongoing DLC of microtransactions. So and they were very responsive when it came out. I remember there were some glitches with it, and they fixed it. They patched it up, and it was great. So yeah, I definitely would recommend it if you haven't played it to check it out. But at the same time, the physical copies, like when it came out at like PS5, are selling for upwards of like $100 now.
Oh, jeez.
You can still get them on like Amazon apparently for like $30.
Oh my God.
But yeah, the physical disc is going to be difficult to come by. So if you can find one, great. This will come into play with some other stuff later with physical versus digital. Delisted means you're screwed because you don't own it.
Screwed. Yep.
So yeah, so we'll move on from there and go to your NCIS.
Yep.
Before we go into the topic of discs and no discs, all of that fun stuff.
We're gonna skip over the Val story.
Maybe not. I mean, I might just gloss over it.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't think we'll actually like cover it per se. But
okay, good, because
it'll be quick.
Yeah, it'll be quick. So yeah, when I did it, it was a couple of years ago. I don't know if he still has anything to do with the website, but I believe Michael Osiello created, or he had something to do with the website TV line. I'll have to do the research later. And anyway, I had interviewed him because he did his autobiography film a couple of years ago. And this is how I got turned on to TV Line as a website for news sources and things like that. So I follow them on Facebook, and I share some of the stuff that they put out. I mostly like most of their stuff. And I am a huge NCIS fan. I have been since 2003 when the original show with Mark Harmon debuted. I used to have all of the NCIS DVD sets back in the day. I had up to season 5. And when NCIS Los Angeles debuted with LL Cool J and Chris O'Donnell, I was like, ooh, cool. I'm loving this. This is awesome. Well, now, as of today, written up by Dave Nemitz. Sorry, Dave, if I screwed up your name. NCIS New York ordered at CBS with LL Cool J and Scott Caan set to star. The NCIS franchise is taking a bite out of the Big Apple. CBS has handed a series order to the new spin-off NCIS New York, with LL Cool J reprising his NCIS Los Angeles role as Sam Hanna. With Hawaii Five-0 alum Scott Caan also starring, the series will air Tuesdays at 9 p.m. this fall. Following the original NCIS and preceding the NCIS Origins, NCIS Sydney will return at mid-season, taking over the Origins time slot. See CBS full schedule here. In NCIS New York, according to the official description, legendary NCIS agent Sam Hanna, played by LL Cool J, returns to his hometown of New York City to their field office, partnering with a roguish agent Scott Caan, helping to lead a new team as they are tasked with high-stakes missions to defend one of the most vital cities and ports in the world. Pit creator R. Scott Jamil, who was also a showrunner on NCIS LA, will pen the NCIS New York pilot per deadline, with Byron Belasco from Kingdom serving as showrunner. LL Cool J starred as Sam Hanna on NCIS Los Angeles, which wrapped up a 14-season run on CBS in 2023. Is also guest starring in the next 2 episodes of NCIS. Good sneak peek here. Caan is CBS drama veteran as well, having co-starred as Danny on Hawaii Five-0, which ran from 2010 to 2020. 2010 to 2020. He even guest starred as Danny in a 2012 episode of NCIS Los Angeles. So if NCIS LA is done, wonder if we're going to get a complete series DVD set. NCIS Los Angeles was the second spinoff. I have been waiting for complete series DVD set of that show. Anyway, this is going to be cool. I love this. I think this is awesome. I think it's going to be super fun. I love the character of Sam Hanna. LL Cool J is really awesome. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, interesting. Because there are certain parts of the NCIS franchise, like when they debuted NCIS Origins, which is the Mark Harmon Gibbs Origins stuff, I was like, oh, cool. We're finally going to get to hear all the stories from, I forget which one of the ex-wives, is it Sharon or Kelly or whatever, which one of his wives wrote down his rules. I think it's Sharon's rules. Anyway. Yeah, no. So I had to talk about this because I was like, oh, interesting. So we're going to get that this fall. I just love that they're continuing on with this franchise and they're finding new and different ways to expand it that make sense. Like, I've never seen NCIS Sydney. I'm sure it's okay. I'm sure it's cool. I'm sure it's fun. I've never seen NCIS New Orleans. I'm sure it's okay. Actually, NCIS New Orleans has Scott Bakula. He was wasn't he a Star Trek alum?
He was Captain Jonathan Archer.
Yeah, he was Archer in the thing.
In Enterprise.
Enterprise, yeah, the thing. Yeah, so I'm very excited to see what happens in NCIS New York this fall. Then, folks, people make stupid decisions in Hollywood.
Oh, how so?
I don't care if he said that they could do. There are certain things you ask yourself, Steve. You just ask yourself, should I do it or should I not do it? And if the answer is I shouldn't do this, then you shouldn't do it.
Are we talking about Xfinity?
Oh no, that's after this. This is not no. That's something.
Oh, you're
totally
talking about
different.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Yes, the Val. Yeah. So there's a new movie coming out called As Deep as the Grave, and Val Kilmer has been digitally resurrected via AI to star in this new movie. Which I could see if you were like, hey, I would really love to see Val Kilmer in this movie. And, it would have been something along the vein of something he would have done. and he was like kind of like a little bit part that showed up at some point, not a speaking role, but just, like a brief cameo that kind of was there as like an homage to him or something. But the fact that they've digitally resurrected the man who's, been gone since, around the time that Top Gun Maverick came out.
Yeah.
And died shortly after his scene. And the man had cancer and couldn't talk, and they resurrected his voice for it. Yeah, to make him the lead of a movie where the man has been gone, like, doesn't
no,
like it almost is like they try to like continue Tombstone or something with it.
Yeah, it's
like
bad.
it's a Western.
Top Gun Maverick is 4 years old. It came out in 2022.
I mean,
and in 2022, when Top Gun Maverick came out, he could barely talk in the movie. You watch him with Tom Cruise. He struggled like hell, and I'm just like, why are you even having him in this? Even if he wanted to be on it, even if he said, yes, I can do this, it's going to be okay, I'll be fine. Even if he said all of the things that he's wanted to say that he could do that film, there still should have been someone there that should have said, no, he shouldn't do this. This is a thing where the man's been dead for 4 years. This is like somebody should have told these people, no, you shouldn't do this. You should not do Resurrected by AI as deep as the grave.
Well, he died actually last year.
Oh, in 25? Okay,
yeah, April 1st. Because everybody thought it was an April Fool's Day joke.
Okay, so he's only been dead a year.
He did look rough, but
but still, like,
dude had suffered, like, and
exactly. Like, no, this is all.
Well, they have him playing a priest basically, but I was like, is this like Tombstone's continuation or something? Like, because it kind of reminded me of that. It's another historical drama about like archaeologists in the Southwest, that kind of aligns with the Western theme of Tombstone. And yeah, I mean, I guess what had happened with this movie, as I'm doing more digging on it, it says As Deep as the Grave is a separate new film, that utilizes AI to fulfill a role Kilmer was originally cast for before his passing. So I feel like there may be something we're not seeing with this. Not that I'm trying to like condone, like, yeah, let's resurrect every dead actor with AI. I wonder if he knew something was up and like he was cast in it and really wanted to do it. And I feel like they were already going to use, because there's definitely some like back and forth with the timeline in this movie, according to the trailer. Like they have young Kilmer and then older Kilmer and then like old Kilmer. So I'm wondering if they were already digitally reversing his age in the film for the young version. And he was just going to play the old version before. And, because we all know that movies take a while to make anyway. Right. So I wonder if this was before he was like deathly ill, like he was probably cast in it shortly after Maverick. And so like, I'm wondering if he must have signed something to be in the movie regardless. And then the family like took it a step further and were like, yeah, you can keep using him and have him digitally be there. And then they get the payday. It's still like kind of a moral weird gray area. I mean, I could cast Val Kilmer right now in my short movie, and into it, but it like, I don't know. I would feel weird doing it. Like, just because like, it's like, dude, the guy's dead. Like, leave him alone. Like, leave his look alone, leave his voice alone. Like at that point, it's like, yeah, if you want to mess around with it for like a passion project to kind of play around with something, sure. But I mean, even then it's kind of just weird. Like I wouldn't feed AI like my dad.
No.
and have it voice and it look like him and respond to me how I would expect him to respond. Like, I mean, it would just be creepy and weird. And
like
so
I have so when Karen died, okay, I had all these clips. Like, we never actually did a full podcast. We never actually did a full recording. Never actually did a full topic show. We never actually did a movie review. We didn't do a TV review. Well, we did do one TV review, but it's a thing. But it's one of those things where we had all these separate recordings that we had done, but we never sat down. Like, Chaos and I have sat down. We've recorded, like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9. I've got we've recorded currently, I think, 7 podcasts that are published, and I have something like 4 or 5 other ones that I still need to. I'm in the middle of editing one right now, but I've got but when Karen and I were together and we were doing stuff and whatever, we would record all these things on our phones and stuff, but we would never actually sit down to record a podcast. We'd record all these clips. We sat down and we a recipe for seduction. I kid you not. That's what it's called. No, dude, let me tell you. This was 2018, 2019. I forget which. I think it was 2018. Who's Slater? Who the hell is Slater? What's his name? Mario Lopez, I think. Slater from Saved by the Bell. It's not Mark. Okay, Mario Lopez. So Mario Lopez and somebody else. It's a Hallmark movie thing, but it's not a Hallmark movie thing. We sat down and we were going to watch this thing, and I'm like, hey, let's record our reaction to this. Little did we know it was a 5-minute skit on the Hallmark Channel. But we recorded our reaction to it. My point in saying all of this is that after Karen passed in 2021, it probably took me about, I don't know when that was published. I'll have to look. Yeah, I have all these clips of Karen and I doing funny things or funny situations. And after she passed, this is before the great AI uprising, I took all those clips and I made them into Geekcast Radio episode 312, which was published a year after she passed. It is episode 312, The Marin Moments. It is just... What's the time? It's 31 minutes and 36 seconds long. And it's all these clips, various clips and various whatever. And the reason why it's 31 minutes and 36 seconds long is because it's me doing voices, like, not voices, but it's me doing vocal introductions of what the clips are and when the clips took place, kind of thing, doing the narration bit. Explaining to the audience why this is and what this is and whatever. But the clips themselves are the clips that we had recorded. So the reason why I'm saying all of this is to tie it back into Val. Like, yeah, Karen passed away, but there's no way in hell I was going to have AI or anything back then change her voice or do this or do that. Because a year later, I felt like I needed to release this. I felt like it was okay to release this because I felt like the clips were so funny. It was fine. To tie it back into Val, though, they are using artificial intelligence to create something with him, but he's not here. It's him, but it's not him. Like, they're...
So I found an article.
Okay, go ahead.
About it.
Sorry.
And it's like a European paper.
Yeah.
So anyways, the director of this the writer and director of this opened up about the controversial decision to bring the late actor back with AI.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He says, he was the actor I wanted to play this role. And he says, it was very much designed around him, like this movie. And said that he goes further into it. He said that although the director had Kilmer ready to shoot his scenes when they first started beginning on the filming of this in 2020, the actor was going through a really, really tough time medically and couldn't do it. Because obviously Kilmer had the tracheotomy for his, throat cancer and lost his voice and died of pneumonia last year. The director explained that, he was still able to use the state-of-the-art generative AI to place Kilmer in certain scenes via photos, footage, and audio recordings obtained with permission from the estate and from the family. He said his family kept saying how important they thought the movie was and that Val really wanted to be part of this. And he shared that, and he says he really thought it was an important story that he wanted his name on, because he added that it was also the support that gave him the confidence to say, okay, let's do this. Because apparently he pumped the brakes on it, and the family was kind of like, hey, he would like this. Like the director was in this dilemma of man, I really want him to do this, but obviously the man can't do it. So he says, despite the fact some people might call it controversial, this is what Val wanted. And I guess his daughters shared that, expressed that the support for bringing her late dad back using AI, that he was always looking at emerging technologies with optimism as a tool to expand the possibilities of storytelling. And that this spirit is something that we're all honoring within the specific film of which he was a part of. And I guess his son was also, involved with that too. So it sounds like the director also mentioned that, they cut many scenes involving Kilmer's character due to time constraints and budget. So apparently it was supposed to be a lot more with Kilmer in it, but they cut it because of budget. He says he realized that Kilmer's role was significant, a major missing element. He says, besides the AI version of Kilmer, they also had a couple other actors in it, but it's based on a true movie or true story, for one. And he said normally they would just recast an actor. He says, I'm all about working with actors. We have brilliant performances throughout the film, but he continued that they can't roll the camera again, don't have the budget. There's not a big studio film, so had to think of innovative ways of continuing it, realize that the technology is there. And, Kilmer obviously has used AI before to resurrect his voice because he literally couldn't speak. So, he partnered with a company to, so he could actually talk. So, yeah, the daughter, I guess, says it means a lot to Val and that he's very proud of so it sounds like there was a lot of back and forth with it. So yeah, I mean, people are going to be on either side of the fence of it. I can see the moral sides, and even it sounds like the director even had a do I, don't I,
yeah.
And then the family was like, hey, but I know that they're probably benefiting too. So it's all right, at what point? But I'm sure Val would have done it regardless.
Yeah.
If he was even still alive, I'm sure he would have been like, yeah, use my image with AI, and, probably would have had thoughts about, I would like to see him do this, or, I'm sure he would have been involved. So, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Either way, it's really weird. So, I mean, the more I dig into it, the more I'm like, okay, kind of see both sides of it here. It's controversial for multiple reasons.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. So
very, very.
I'll check it out when it comes out, just because I'm interested now.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right.
Yeah. So let's go to Xfinity, since we're all a little bit fired up.
Yep. So I have been fighting with Xfinity since I moved here to Anderson, Indiana back in 2022. So 4 years. Because My internet constantly will go out at a moment's notice, depending on what time of day it is. And it'll constantly say unexpected network issue, investigating this and it. It's like a daily occurrence. It'll go out at least once a day at some point during the day, whatever. Or my speed isn't where it's supposed to be. Right now, as of right now, I'm upgraded to 2 gigabit internet, and I'm not even pulling that. I know I'm not. I guarantee you I'm probably not even getting probably 1 gigabit. And I follow Marquez Brownlee, aka MKBHD, and the people that work for him. One of them, Ellis Roven, I actually had over on Studio 2009 a couple of years ago. He did a podcast approach with me. And one of their clip shows, Waveform, they do a podcast called Waveform. One of their clips, Ellis was talking about Xfinity and how they were on, I guess, the chat version of Xfinity. Like I was mentioning earlier about every website has a chat feature, yada, yada, yada. Well, they were texting with the chat and whatever else because I'm not getting the speeds I'm paying for. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Keep checking in, yada, yada, yada. Apparently, Xfinity has a switch that they can use to not actually give you the full speed you're paying for because the boss says not to do that. That's not cool. The link to that short is in the show notes. I'll have Steve put it in the post, or I'll put it in the post on the website. That's not cool. Like, I've been a loyal Xfinity customer for years. We both have. Loyal Xfinity customer for years. We have paid God knows how much money to this company, and they have a switch to either get our internet speeds up to where they should be, what we're paying for, or to lower them. And the boss tells them to lower the speeds on us. No. And I honestly don't think that this clip it's not Ellis. He's not joking. This isn't a skit they're putting on. This is not them. I'm pretty sure this wasn't taken on April Fools.
I question it partially too, because like it's not even on the original channel. It's just tagged.
Yeah, it is tagged, but it is them. Like, it isn't like I mean, I could reach out to Ellis and say, hey, when did you guys film this? I could look for it on the original channel and see.
The only thing, like, I don't know where this is. Like, I pay for 500 megabyte service.
They're in New Jersey.
Okay, like I get 500 megabyte service.
Yeah.
But I think it's like now if you're paying for like gigabit and you're not getting it, like, yeah. But there's also limitations to those cable lines too.
Yeah.
Like they only can go so fast, and then you're bottlenecked. Plus, you're also bottlenecked based on who's online in your neighborhood and how many of them are online and how much data they're using. So you're always going to run into that issue too. And if your modem can't handle it. So, I mean, there's so many different variables here that it's like, it's hard to like, I could see them doing something scummy like this, but at the same time, like I've had issues with Xfinity many times over the years.
Yeah.
Recently, I had an issue with them where they wanted to send out a technician to mess with my line. And I'm like, I know there's nothing wrong with my line. I was having issues getting internet one day, and it was like, I was getting like less than a megabyte. And I'm like, I know I pay for 500. I should at least get 300. Like, if I get at least 300, I'm not going to complain, because honestly, you're not going to notice the difference on the download. It's the upload speed that's terrible. And I'm supposed to, for this, get like 16 megabyte down or up. And I think for gigabit, you're supposed to get like 20 megabyte up, which is still pathetic. Like, it should be a 1-to-1 ratio, or at least a 1 to 0.5 ratio. So you should at least be getting, if you're doing 500 megabyte download, you should be getting 250 up, because your speed is ultimately bottlenecked by how quick your computer can communicate with the internet. And the fact that Comcast is still behind on that, and like you have to get like fiber, or you have to get like some local, like a lot of local governments are doing their own internet because they can do it for the same price as Comcast, and the price doesn't fluctuate. They own it. I'm a little leery on government owned internet,
yeah.
but they also do a 1-to-1 ratio. You're paying for a gig up, you get a gig down.
Yep.
Like, I mean, they're both, you know, 1-to-1. But I've also heard that there's bottlenecks with those too. And then, of course, you know, it's like, do you own the equipment? Do you have to rent it? Do you have to, like Comcast, I buy all my equipment so I don't have to pay them a monthly rental because I'm cheap. And so when they try to play games with me, I'm like, I know that this works. I've already audited it. I know all of the little ins and outs. I know your game. I know how all of this works. Like, I need you to send a reset code to my modem. Like, I've already done all of the stuff I can do on my end. And they're like, well, we need to send a, I'm like, BS. Like, I've literally done your job for you. It's like, there's no reason to come out to my house. Nothing has changed on my end. It's like, it's literally something on your end. Fix it.
Yeah.
And they did.
Well, recently they were like, oh, well, you need a new modem. And I'm like, no, I don't. You were just out here 2.5 months ago. I just had the modem replaced. It was the same modem I had from 4 years ago when I moved here. You just gave me the top of the line modem. Oh, well, we'll ship you a new modem. And I'm like, no, don't do that. I need a new, because with the internet, they give you the free TV, the little TV box thing. It's not a cable, you know what I mean? It's not the cable package, but they give you the whatever the streaming box is as a whatever, as a bonus. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, the cable box, more or less. Like,
yeah.
I think with my internet, I get it. I think I get a free cell phone line, which I don't use because they don't support the device.
Yeah.
And then I also get Peacock for free.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Same. So they're like, oh, well, and I told them when I called them, I said, my modem is fine. You just literally, you can look at the modem, right? I asked them that. Can you see my modem? Yes. Okay. Look at the modem. You just upgraded it. It is literally the best modem you people have. I need to buy my own modem at some point. I haven't done that yet because I'm still using one of theirs. So
I don't need a rental of it.
I don't even know. I'd have to look at the bill. I can tell you later.
It's probably like 10 or 11.
Yeah, it's not that much. It's like 10 or $11. I'm like, you just gave me a brand new modem to replace the old one. I said, what I need a new TV box. They completely ignored that and sent me the exact same modem I already have. So now I have a piece of equipment that I can't use. I don't have a new TV box. I either have to get somebody out here because I don't drive and I can't get to one of their stores. And I'm not mailing this crap back because I don't have, like, it's a whole thing. And it's like, now we find out that supposedly, allegedly, they have a button that they can control, like just a literal button that the boss just tells them, yeah, give them slower speed so we can just charge them more money. Really? Seriously? Give me a break. And I said allegedly, so whatever, we're covered. Oh, Xfinity, you suck sometimes. All right, topics at hand here. I wanted to say this really quick, only because I'm in the middle of writing these reviews for the lovely La La Land Records. Love La La Land Records. I've been covering stuff for them for years. But I find we've talked about this for years on the Geekcast Radio Network. Media rights and streaming rights and which services have what, and this is why we talk about Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and HBO Max and Paramount Plus and insert streaming service name here and whatever. The James Bond films, the entire catalog of James Bond films, arrived on Netflix January 15th, 2026. Yay! One place, watch all the movies. Yay! Cool. We have time. We can do whatever we want. We can watch The Man with the Golden Gun. We can watch Dr. No. We can watch Octopussy. We can watch Live and Let Die. We can watch The Night. Tomorrow Never Dies. The World Is Not Enough. Die Another Day. Crap. Damn it, I'm dying.
Yeah, we can watch crap. Yeah.
Mhm. Hey, wait a minute. I'm not done with my spiel. But yet, here we are 4 months later. James Bond movie catalog is now leaving Netflix. April 20th, 2026. What the frag? Huh? What? It was only there for quite literally 3 months. 3 months and 5 days? What? Why make that deal? Seriously, why Amazon MGM? Because that's who owns it. Because MGM is Amazon and broccoli and all that and whatever for the Bond franchise. Why make that deal? Why go to Netflix and say, hey, we're going to let you get as many subscribers as you can get to your service for the next 3 months and 5 days just to take the entire film catalog away in 3 months and 5 days. And who knows if it's going to go back to Amazon MGM? Who knows if it's going to go to whatever other service? And I'm now sitting here, crunch time. Luckily, I'm in the middle of writing my Tomorrow Never Dies film score review for La La Land Records, and I'm about to watch The World Is Not Enough and then write that review before 20th. Since it's the 5th, I'm doing that tomorrow, or whenever you find people hear this, it'll be done. But it's like, what, why, how? Like, can we have another month? Like, come on, people. I get it. The rights and everything else change, but like, what was the point of only giving Netflix 3 months and 5 days of that entire film catalog? I don't understand that. 6 months, 8 months, maybe give it a year.
Because they don't know what to do with it. It's probably just limited rights. I think they're all just having fun passing around the same crap over and over. I think that's literally the boat we're in now.
I mean, so next year will be the 65th anniversary of the Bond franchise, because the Bond franchise started, Dr. No was 1962. So I could see if Netflix held the streaming rights until the end of this year, like instead of only having it for 3 months, give it until December, and then send it back to Amazon or put it somewhere else for the 65th anniversary or something. I don't know. So weird. Yeah, so that happened. And then we have so I saw this from Pop Culture Brian on Instagram. He put it other places as well. CinemaCon is either already happened or was going on, where all the movie studios give all the press releases and everything else. And Sony's CEO Tom Rothman had this to say. I wrote these three things down. I wrote them down in two different ways. I wrote them how Tom said them, and then I wrote them down how Brain, his page is actually called Pop Culture Brain, I think. I wrote them how he broke them down. Enforce longer windows, even if that means you can't play every film. Get rid of pre-shows, get off the ad track people know to show up late. Then going to the theater must become affordable again. So basically make it cheaper, show fewer ads, and expand the windows. Thoughts?
I mean, I think that the guy's onto something. Like, I hate how long. Like, I went to the theater like in February, and it was pricey. They've put in premium seating, and now you pick your seats. Like, it's no longer just go in there and pick, just wander in. I can kind of get their longer windows, but at the same time, like, those of us that are going to just watch it at home anyway are going to just do that. The get rid of the pre-shows and get off the ad track, because people know to show up late. I 100% agree with that. We went to see a movie and it was like supposed to play at like 2:30 in the afternoon. It was almost like 3:15 before it started.
Oh, geez.
Because there were so many ads. Like, there were literally ads in between the trailers, and there was like 6 trailers or 7 trailers for movies that played, and I'm like, okay, like 3 to 4 is like kind of the limit. Like, we don't need 7 movie trailers. It's like, I'm not going to go see everything. And then they mismatch them too. And then there's ads. There was like 2 to 3 ads between every trailer, and I'm like, what is this crap? And then, of course, going to the theater, obviously it needs to be more affordable or people aren't going to go, but it also needs to be, I feel like if there's a time that the movie should start, it should start at that time. Otherwise, let people know when it's actually going to start and say, hey, by the way, we've got 20 minutes of commercials and like another 20 minutes of trailers. The movie's actually going to start at. Because it's like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to sit there an extra 40 minutes. Like, I came to see the movie, eat my popcorn, get my drink, go home. Like, I don't actually bought a popcorn last time we went because it was like, oh, this isn't too bad. Like, it's, you get one free refill and the bucket was big and it was like $10 or something. And I'm like, okay, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. But I at least was like, the rest of the experience was fine. I mean, I didn't need fancy seats to go see it, to pay an additional like $4 and assigned seating. Like, I missed the old days of it. You just pay the stupid price, go find a seat, sit down, shut up and watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what does it for me, honestly, like, anymore people, because like there aren't that many people in the theaters when I'm going. When I have gone, it's the pre-show. It's all the ads. It's like, I don't want to see all that. Like, usually they used to play the ads before the start time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would play one more ad to start you into the trailers. You would have your 3 to 4 trailers, and then you'd have the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I could deal with that, because it's like you're talking like 10 to 12 minutes of trailers.
Yeah, usually you used to have the open, like when you go in, you'd have the let's say the overhead lights are on and they'd either be playing music or whatever. The screen would pop on, they'd have something playing on the screen, the lights would start to dim, the screen would change, you would have some sort of theater, I don't want to call it animation, but let's say some sort of theater title cards, let's call them, playing or whatever. You'd get maybe one ad that would then lead you into the trailers, like you're saying, and then you'd get another little theater thing, and then you get the movie. And like you're saying, it would take maybe 15 minutes at max. But now it's like, this theater owner is brought to you by Maxwell House. This theater owner is brought to you, Folgers. The worst way of waking up in this theater is Folgers in your car. And it's like, okay, that's 2 coffee ads. Here's 2 trailers. Here's 2 fast food ads. Here's 2 more trailers. Here's this. Here's that. Here, oh, you're going to need some medical attention after you leave this movie theater. So here's a ambulance ad. Here's this ad. Here's that ad. 20 minutes later, you're like, I even watched the movie. Oh, the movie hasn't even started yet. Oh God, I'm going to be here for another 9 hours. No matter how, and that's not that's not me saying anything against the movie itself, but depending on what the length of the movie actually is. But yeah, it's just nuts, which is why I just don't care about movie theaters anymore. There's nothing they could do. Even if it was Transformers the movie, there's not a damn thing they could do to get me to go see a movie in a movie theater. There just isn't. And this whole thing about, as much as I agree with what Pop Culture Brain is saying about enforce longer I agree with get rid of the pre-shows and get off the ad track and, make it cheaper. I agree with those 2 things. Expand the windows? No, don't expand the windows.
Well, I mean, if you're looking even right now, the Project Hail Mary and Super Mario Galaxy, they're going to get kicked off the list anyway. It's at this point, it's just let it fade out and go to streaming. And Galaxy's only been out 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And Project Hail Mary's been out, 3?
Yeah,
4?
something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. At this point, go for a happy medium. I think they wanted I think they were at 40 days. They want to make it 60 or something now.
Yeah.
Which, okay, that's not terrible. They were going to go 90 days back in the day.
3 months in the movie theater is way too long.
Well, I think it's 3 months before it comes out, publicly. It used to. Do you remember? They used to fade out. It would be in the theater for 60 days or until it stopped making a profit.
Yeah,
and then it would disappear, and then you wouldn't hear anything, and then 3 months later it would come out on disc.
Right.
And so I feel like we're at that stage again. I don't have a problem if it fades out. It gives you, if nothing else, it gives you the want to see it again if you enjoyed it. For the 3 month window. But if they're going to do that, they also need to continue making the discs, which I know there's a big diatribe with that on X right now too. But most of the outrage is because people aren't reading the articles; they're just reposting what they're reading. People are flipping out about
because of the Disney thing.
Yeah, I'm not going into much detail on it, but people are flipping out because the Disney thing, because they laid off all of their home entertainment people. But the thing that people are forgetting, and I forgot about it too initially, they spun off all the rights for the DVDs and the Blu-rays to Sony Entertainment, which is now producing all of the Disney content for them, so they don't need that division anymore internally. So they're outsourcing it because it's cheaper.
Yep.
And in that regard, I get it. It sucks that people are losing their jobs, but I mean, in every industry, jobs do go away, and then they're replaced with new ones that do something totally different. So I mean, it's they are changing with the times, but at the same time, they also went points of time where Disney would not produce any VHS tapes, and then they would come out with a platinum edition or whatever, and it would get locked in the vault, and they didn't just sell the stuff constantly like they do now. So, I mean, they created their own scarcity. But yeah, I mean, I agree with some of it. I don't care if they keep it in the window longer for and I think what they're talking is enforcing the windows longer so that you can't watch the film until after that certain point, which, whatever. I mean, if they wait 3 months, it's not going to kill me to wait 3 months after it's been in, from the debut in the theater. I don't think it should stay in the theater 90 days because that's stupid. I think when
I
it's
mean,
naturally fizzled out and it's making under $5 million at that point, and it was
Yeah.
like, let's say it was making like 80 million and 40 million or whatever a day, and it goes down to like 5 million for the week. It's like, okay, it's time to boot it out. Or
Yeah.
if you've got new stuff to replace it, like, yeah, get rid of it and then like let its window start. Let it 60 days start before it gets to go on streaming or physical discs.
Yeah.
I would love to hear from people though, as far as the physical discs are concerned, like where they're picking up their physical discs at this point. Like I've seen them at Walmart is a pretty good source for like television shows and like newer movies that have come out, or like their bargain bin for $5. I've also seen like there's like essentially like Goodwill, which is like ARC stores. At least around where I'm located in Colorado, they have those. And there's like literally a wall of DVDs and Blu-rays. And I'm like, and Goodwill has them too, but they're not quite as extensive. And I've thought about going through the aisle and being like, and checking it out. And we have a lot of GameStops or, different game stores, Games Ahoy or whatever, and stuff around me that I could get, traded in television series and Blu-rays and DVDs. So, I mean, I'm definitely looking on the other side of it going, what do I really enjoy that I would like to own again? Or that I've never owned and I would love to own, Like I found Batman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond again, and they're dirt cheap at Walmart or deep discount. And yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of places for it, but I'm just curious where people tend to source from. And, I know you can get it on Amazon too, but I'm looking at like cheaper cost for some of the stuff, but still having good quality. So it would be interesting to hear what people use.
For me, I have to use Amazon for the most part, because for me, I am all in on 4K television. Because they be expensive, but I look at it as an investment in kind of I look at them all as special editions, even though they're not all special edition things. Most of them are regular disc things. I'm trying to see. There's a 4K because I'm over here on Amazon now. So arriving June 30th, the Money Pit on 4K. It's just a standard regular, like there's no special edition, whatever. I think I'm paying $37.49. So, but I'm paying that for the high quality. Now if that was a regular DVD, that would if that was just DVD quality, that'd probably be that'd be a $20 disc. It would be, the $13 or $17 cheaper. But I think the reason why that's, and this is, I could be wrong, could be completely wrong. But I think the reason why I'm paying in total $40.11 after whatever taxes and all that is because it's 4K. And honestly, I don't mind that I'm paying that. June 23rd, Click and 51st Dates. Same kind of pricing, $37.44 each for those. But for me, it's about having those on physical media in the highest quality I can get them, because I have a player and television that plays that high quality.
Yeah, I mean, I have a 4K TV now, since I got a smart TV. But honestly, normal people,
Yeah.
I was looking at a report of it. People can't tell the difference between like 2K and 4K, people can't honestly tell the difference between like true HD and 4K because the amount of information our eyes can physically read is not high enough to actually notice 4K, or even like they're even messing with 8K, and they're kind of backpedaling on it because they're like, what's the point? Like our eyes can't even see 4K. Like the level of detail in it. Like, yes, true HD, like 1080p.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there is a significant difference between that and 720p. Like, there is. Just like there's a difference between like the old, 360p or like the 480, from like old school television to the 720 to the 1080. Like, but there's not enough of a difference between like 1080p and like, or even 2160, which is like doubling the 1080p. Like you can't really tell the difference beyond that 2160p to the 4K. And Blu-ray pretty much sits at that anyway. So like Blu-ray is like pretty much as best as you're going to get it. So yeah, I don't even pay attention to the 4K stuff anymore. Like even when I have digital files of stuff, like it's 720p because I'm not going to notice a difference on any of my screens. Now, if it's an action movie, like 1080p isn't more important to me. But like if it's like something like, oh, Star Trek, movie, or like a big action movie, like let's say I got, the Mission Impossible series.
Yep.
I would probably get that in Blu-ray because I would want the best possible quality of the action. Or, even like there have been like 4K masters of Beast Wars that people have done using AI and like different technologies. And it looks better than the DVD quality because the DVDs are very compressed. There never was a 4K quality. There never was an HD quality because it was not made for that. But the quality is better. It's still not 4K, and it's still not enough for my eyes to pick it out. I mean, my eyes aren't that far gone. I mean, I wear glasses, but I don't need it to see. It's more of a distance thing.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. We're in this weird phase with physical media and streaming. Like people are sick of subscriptions, sick of streaming, and we're hitting this precipice now that the younger generation is realizing, hey, you old people from, you Gen Xers and millennials that grew up in the 80s and 90s. I guess your stuff actually was awesome because we got full games.
Yep.
We got full television shows.
Yep.
We got full movies.
Yep.
We got good writing. We got good acting. We got good production. They did things on a lower budget. We got complete games. And if they had DLC, they either gave it to us for free or we bought an add-on. And it was a one-shot. Like it wasn't stupid expensive. They didn't have microtransactions. They didn't have like loot boxes or things that you had to earn to one-up the game or to cheat. Like you actually had to be good at the game to beat it. I mean, there were so many like old game consoles are even like selling like hotcakes and it's super expensive because you didn't need an internet connection to play them. Same with old games. You didn't need an internet connection for them. Like I literally go and check out abandonware just so that I can play like old games.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, I don't need an internet connection. I can just play it. So, but I think that about rounds this episode out. We've kind of gone all over the place, but there's been a lot of good conversation and a lot of good thoughts.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm wondering if, again, not only the question about the physical media where people, kind of their go-to places, whether it be online or physically in person. But, maybe what's some some of your thoughts on some of these discussions we've had, or even, what are some old television shows or movies that we should check out? Like I'm checking out the Mission Impossible series, and I still have to finish the second to the last film, and I have to watch the last one, which is not on Netflix, but for some reason they put the second to the last film on Netflix and not the last one. So, yeah, I'm watching that. I'm going to finish that on the plane ride, but yeah, that series has impressed me other than the J.J. Abrams Kurtzman written third film. So, yeah.
Exploding chips in their heads. Just a bunch of exploding chips in their heads.
I just think of what's that movie called? There's another one. British film. Not 007.
Avengers.
It's
Avengers.
No, it's another like spy action.
Oh, I know what you're talking about too. Kingsman.
That's
Yep.
I was like something like, yeah, Kingsman. I think of that first one with Sam Jackson and Mark Hamill, and where they had the chips in their head, and then you just like at the end, like there's just random exploding fireworks from people's bodies. That's all I think about. I'm like, that one was a better film.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyways, that rounds out about this episode of Altered Geek. Let us know on the website as always. Thank you for listening to the episode. I've been your host, Steve Megatron, with TFG1Mike. And you can, of course, leave a comment on the website, geekcastradio.com. You can hear us on all of the different platforms again, including TuneIn, which fixed their podcast submission feed now that they've been bought out. So until next time, get altered, get geeky with the Altered Geeks.
Don't block me on X. I'm now TFG1Mike again.
From classic icons to new sci-fi dreams, with every episode we'll unravel the themes. Let's geek out and laugh, keep the spirits high. Together we'll journey, reaching for the sky. Join the discussion, let's dive into lore. From Star Trek to Transformers, we're ready to soar. Superheroes clash as we spark up the flame. Alter Geek Podcast, remember the name.